Wonder what I've just been watching, but I am going to watch the charts. Roll the intro and I'll show you. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Langers and I am the overgrown child that is the scruffy trader.
You got that one right.
What was that?
Look at the mug.
Look at the mug. It's a great mug. It's the Mandalorian. So I guess really I am a child. Actually, do you want to say something? Do you want to say something? If I'm an overgrown child, come here a sec.
Right.
Look at that with a pixie hat on. It's an overgrown pixie. Sorry. For those of you who haven't been here before, that might look a bit odd, but believe it or not, this is a trading channel and it is real life. Nothing is ever scripted in this. I literally just switch the camera on and off we go. And I talk to you while I'm doing my day job, which is trading, funny enough. And I'm hoping that I can kind of show you a thing or two along the way, because there's a multitude of ways to trade. And I don't trade just a single way. I will trade many different ways depending on what it is I'm looking at. And I think sometimes that's where people get lost. They genuinely believe X marks the spot. It doesn't quite work like that. I know I've said it before. But the reason being is you see guys saying it's a mechanical system. Take emotion out of it and just use my system and I'll charge you a fortune for it. It's crap. It really is. You know, you have to be a little bit intuitive. You have to be able to read the market and use a framework. So when they talk of mechanical systems, what they should be saying is a framework to work around, because the markets are a living, breathing thing. They don't follow the rules. What you think is going to happen, the guy sitting next to you thinks something else is going to happen, and that's what moves the markets. So it's almost like a game of chess. You've got to think 2 or 3 steps ahead. And because of that, screen time and understanding the markets is what you need to know. It's about 80% technical and 20% fundamental if you want to break it down. Okay, so you need to be aware of the news, but you also need to be aware of the technicals, and one does affect the other. Just so happens the technicals outweigh the fundamentals, which is why sort of a lot of systems can work. But then what you need to do is figure out what the win rates of those systems are and then apply a relevant risk reward. So what I'm going to do, because believe it or not, it is New Year's Eve today. It's the end of the year, and what a year this has been. For me personally, I achieved all of my goals. My first goal is always my salary. My second goal was to get Winky a new car, and those goals were both achieved through trading. I also did a number of challenges this year successfully in front of you. I grew a small account in front of you, and I took it from £200 and it cracked over £1,000 by Christmas Eve. So I was quite pleased with that. And within it, and we did the little sort of video snippets where it bought me a pie, bought me a TV instead of a Holiday Inn. Finally, it was a plate for the car. But you saw the growth, and it was the growth that was important, because trading is not get rich quick, you know, and you're certainly not going to take £200 and think you're going to be the Wolf of Wall Street in a month. It just doesn't work like that. It really doesn't. And I can't stress that enough. But if you treat it as a job, it'll pay you as a job. And every time you are getting a little bit more into your trading account, just think of it as a promotion within that job. So how are we going to end the year? Well, I'm just going to pull up the screens and I'm going to try and find a trade for you on a naked chart, and then I'll explain what that chart is and I'll trade it in front of you. I can't get it any clearer than that. I really can't. And the reason why I do it is, one, to show consistency, and two, to show that it can be done. Because I have yet to see anybody do live trades the way that I do. You know, use a lot of trading view where they roll it back, or they'll say, oh, I think if you get in here and then I would have got out there. Well, that's great, but do it in real time. You know, I can easily show you a system and I'll roll it back and I'll show you how the system works. I can go with that. But when they say that they traded here and got out here and you've got no substance to back it up, that's not really fair. That's for this guy.
You ding dong!
I do kick it in a lot to him, but that's basically because he doesn't know his arse from his elbow, and it's just the wrong impression of trading. Trading is a professional career, you know, and it should be treated with the respect that it deserves. And that is one of the reasons that most traders fail, because they treat it with zero respect. They think 200 quid, so what, if I lose it? But then they believe this ridiculous myth that you can turn 200 into $1 million within a few months. And then when they fail, they just go to social media and they slag everybody off, instead of looking at it in a professional way and trying to learn the craft in the first place. Just my thoughts. Anyway, so I got my coffee. We all know Scruffy likes a coffee. That'll definitely be on a t-shirt. One of my goals for this next year, if I can get the subscriptions up, I'll toy with the idea of getting t-shirts printed and maybe do giveaways, things like that. Why not? You know, it all helps the coffee fund, and the coffee fund helps something that's dear to my heart, and I appreciate everything that comes into it. You know, and I match every pound that does go in. I genuinely do. So happy days. So let us get on to the charts and see what we can find. Okay, so let's have a look. Now, earlier on today, I was wishing sort of Happy New Year to those in the Scruffy squad, and I was asked by Paul, little salute to you, what was on my watch list. And I said it was the pound yen. And I've kind of been watching it most of the day, and it's taken from then till now to present itself. So let's have a little look and see what it was that I am looking at. Okay, so if I just pull this out to an hour. I was watching it earlier on, and I could see the pressure pushing up, as you can quite clearly see, and I wanted it to top out. So I've watched it come down, and there is the explosion. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. So I can see that. And Paul, if you're watching, you might drop a comment and confirm that this is the one I've been waiting for. And even after I was doing the intro, I still had to wait a little bit for it to come into play. So here we are. All right, you can see some levels. It's kind of clustering around this area based on that swing. So I do have plenty of room to get down there. And again, this is, if you like, part of the end of night series that we've been doing. and we're going to grab some pips. Now I'm going to go full out on this. I'm going to put it at a tenner a pop, because I literally just want to be in and out of the thing, and I think this could set up quite nicely. So I've got plenty of room. As you can see, it's measured out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I do a candle count, I'm looking at the bottoms of here. Just a simple 10 pips. And it looks good. So we're going to fire that in. Oh, bloody hell. Got in a bit quicker than I thought. But it's in. What we're going to try and do is we're going to push this down here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of widen that out slightly to the, just to brush to the tops of there. And I'm going to watch it from 10 pips onwards. It's now currently, where are we at? 25 past 4. Okay, so happy days, and let's just see if this works. What did I look at? What have I been looking at all day? Well, I'll show you just while it's playing out. Okay, so take this out to a 4-hour right now. What I initially saw was kind of a double top, and I say kind of because it was kind of a coin toss on the 4-hour. See the drive up, it's come away, and it's come back to the same area. So the coin toss part is, it's 50-50 at this point whether or not it's going to continue or whether it's going to retrace. However, over the course of the last sort of few days, it's had a good buy up. It's New Year's Eve. People don't want to be holding their positions across a long weekend because it is a long weekend. Nobody's going to be trading much tomorrow, New Year's Day, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So that's quite a long period of time. My theory is they're going to want to get out. This is human psyche, right? So that's my first thought. Okay. If I look on a daily, and I look at the dailies, you can see that in this area, it's come, it's struggled. That, believe it or not, is rejection. See the long tail at the top, all right? And then sure enough, it's sold down, it's come back. But this one isn't really a strong candle. It's quite a short body. So that tells me whatever momentum was in this is running out. Okay. So that was the next thought. Okay. Take it down to an hour. And you can see it steadily coming up. It bunched here. And it's all red. Strong red. Down, even though these tails are quite long, you can see the move down, exhaustion push up, and then I'm banking on this coming down. Right, simple as that. And that's basically what I was looking at today. And I know it sounds a bit convoluted in the way that I look at things, and all I'm doing is I'm looking to gauge the market in the here and now. Now, when I was looking at this earlier on today, and they asked me what was on my watch list, it was already in a kind of a downward motion. So I needed to see it push up so that I could get in at a half decent price. And it's taken it most of the day to get there. And now was the time to come into the chart and trade. Simple as that. And that is exactly what we're looking at right now. So what I'll do is I will just let this play out. Quite happy with that decision. I've literally just gone in on a full tilt, if you like. Well, it's not full tilt, it's about a third of a position. But I just wanted to get in, get out, and I was pretty rock solid that this was going in my direction, which is why I did it. But if I have to stage in, I will. My staging point will be above there and on this line. Any further than that, I will look to be getting out. Okay, because I've probably got this bit wrong, but at this moment, looks okay. So quite happy. All right, so let's let this run down, see what happens. How far has it got to go? It's not far. So I think what we'll do is we'll put it at 15 ticks. There we go. And if it hits that, that's a good little trade on sitting waiting patiently. And that's all I've done. I've just waited patiently for this to come into play. All right. So let me drop this onto 5 minutes so you can watch it. And happy days. There we go. I'll just let it run down. Secret sauce of this kind of experience. I do have filters that I look at throughout the day to tell me when it's time to start looking at the chart, and I watch them constantly, you know. And going back to toys, you know, I have sort of God knows what round my desk, you name it, it's here. Once I've committed into a trade, I try not to fiddle on it. A lot of the time I get up and I'll walk away, and I'll come back 15 minutes later or whatever, and I just keep an eye. But if I'm in front of it, the temptation to meddle with your trade is quite big. So you need to occupy your mind. On my screens, I often have YouTube on here, and I'm pretty sure the Telegram guys will stand testament that they know when I'm waiting for something, because I subject them to my music choices of the day. Some of them like it, some of them look at me in a very strange way and wonder what planet is he living on. Scruffy world is where I live. Yes, Wonky Donkey will be back on again tomorrow, boys. Sorry. So, let this play out, and we'll see if it comes into play. Happy days. There you go. Patience paid off yet again. Quick 15 pips, £150 just by waiting. Simple as that. So I am more than pleased with that, and can't get any simpler. Really can't. The whole premise of the trade was, as I said, I saw a form of a double top forming on the 4 hour. I watched it all day on the hourly, and I waited for an exhaustion that would push up that I could counter against. Simple stuff. Yeah. And if you're willing to be patient, you will reap the rewards. Simple as that. So, can't complain. That was the last trade of the year. Haven't really done a great deal today. Bits and pieces. Took a bit of a punch on the euro earlier on, but can't win them all. And this has just sorted me out. So quite happy. Quite happy. I've ended the year above target, what I set out to do. I also had another target in mind, which was to buy Winky a car. I achieved that as well. So all in all, been a fabulous year. I've enjoyed pretty much all of it. It's been a real roller coaster ride for the channel. It's still a hobby, and I enjoy it. So continue to do it in 2021. The channel has grown to a level I never thought it would. We're over 2,000 subscribers now. Got a small following in the Scruffy Squad. You know, a couple of dozen in there maybe at best. And I show these guys what I do, and the feedback I get from them is it's a lovely group to be in, because we don't ram things down their throat. We just work together. You know, if you get it wrong, you get it wrong. We lift you up and try and set you on the right track. And I like that because it's personal. So talking of personal things, I'm going to give a personal message now to each and every one of you. And that is, have a safe and wonderful new year. It's now 10 to 5. I am switching the screens off now till Sunday. So I'm going to have a little bit of a mini break for the next few days. And I'm going to enjoy a beer or two with my best friend, Winky. So happy New Year to one and all. Have a safe one. Have a very prosperous new year. And I look forward to connecting and talking with you all on the other side. So remember, guys, do what you love. The money will follow. See you all soon.